All caution to your favorite reflection of you today in the parking garage. Why in the parking garage, my friend? Well, why not? Parking garage is my favorite. There's just something about it that's just a little grungy and I don't know, it makes it feel a little bit more real. But in all seriousness, what are we talking about today? I don't really know. Today's been an interesting day and I do know. I know exactly what I want to talk about. Living on your own timeline and living on your own time is such an important thing that feels as lost sometimes, or that we don't really embrace. What do I mean by living on your own time? Well, recognizing that life is a process, life is not a thing. This is something I've taken from the learnings of Vince Kelvin, is to approach and treat processes as processes, and to approach and treat things as things. Okay, explain this concept a little bit more in detail. When you go to a yoga class and you enter in the first day and you're like, man, I want to be a phenomenal yogi. I want to be the world's leading yogi. You don't go into class on day one and expect that at the end of class, you're going to be that phenomenal yogi. You go in being like, okay, cool, this is what my goal is. You're probably going to get land on your face in some way, shape, or form. Literally. Similarly, when we approach life, it's not that we approach life and, okay, this is my idea of what I want to be, where I want to be at, so on and so forth, and we don't achieve it just like that. It takes time, it takes investment, it takes effort, blood, sweat, tears, money, everything, really, truly everything, soul. And there's times where it's like you're on your journey and you're like, fuck, man, I've really been doing everything. Or you feel like you've been doing everything. And you have been, but it's from that state of mind that you had been in to begin with. In other words, we can't approach expanding into a new reality or expanding into a new place without changing our mind. We can't get there. It's like if you try to go to, let's say, I don't know, if I was from New Jersey, I was trying to go to Texas, and my compass only worked in the northern, I don't know, northern hemisphere or something. That's a poor example, but more than 30 degrees, latitude or longitude, so if it only worked in a certain area, it'll work in that certain area, but once I leave that area, it's not going to work anymore. Similarly, our mindsets are the exact same way. You can't change the state of your condition. You can't ascend to a higher condition without changing your mindset and letting go of some of those earlier beliefs and mindsets that may have helped you in the past. They really may have. They may have been exactly what you needed to do, and that was your way of going about things, but no longer in the future, or no longer to achieve that next goal. I've been living this myself. As you guys know, I've left my 9 to 5, if you will, and I'm living life on my own terms now, living life on my own time, and I'm recognizing that every single step of my journey thus far has taken me to the next level, and the level after that, and the level after that, and that's exactly what I need. Every single moment, every single thing that's happening to me, or not happening to me, happening for me, is exactly what I needed. So with this, live life in your own time and let go of what others' preconceived notions are of you. This is something I've been working on more and more every single day, is realize that as we were younger, we were brought up with certain beliefs as to who we are and who we ought to be. And that's not who you are, and that's not who you ought to be. Who you are and who you ought to be is based on yourself. It's based on what I find and see in here, down here, that's who I am and that's who I ought to be. I'm not what others want me to be. I simply am. And so by living life on our own time, we give ourselves that amount of time that we need to let go of some of these ideas, to grow into who exactly we ought to be, who we want to be, and who's aligned with us. Let go of these ideas that you're supposed to be in a certain place in your life right now. You're supposed to be, for some people, married, for some people having a house, for some people having a business, for some people making a certain amount of money, for some people having sex with this many women at this particular time in your life. Everything's okay. You know what you're supposed to do because you just do. And there's that part of you that continues to tell you, is like, yo, buddy, this is what's up. And this is why we experience frustration. I truly believe is that it's that higher part of us that's like, yo, dude, this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is where you're supposed to be. This is who you really are, and you're not aligning with that. You're not using your gifts in this specific manner, and that's, I think, really where frustration lies. So lots of learning today. Visited my transcendental meditation teacher today, spoke to my business mentor, Joe Nicasio, was listening to Vince Kelvin's podcast earlier today, and was on a mentorship call with Arash Sapar, motherfucking D-Bizarre. And what do I feel more than anything? I feel free today. And what's the price you'll pay for freedom? Well, I don't know about you, but our founding fathers, if you live in the United States, paid with their lives. And that's exactly what I'm here to do as well. I'm here to pay with my life for freedom. Keep up, thrive, stay sexy.